and welcome to Wonder Girl Tarot. This is your reading for May 4th through the 10th, 2020. It's a general reading for anyone who feels called to watch it, as well as for my followers and subscribers. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and welcome back if you're a returning viewer. I'm so delighted that you're here. So I'm very excited this week because I have a new deck of cards. Some of you may recognize this as the Morgan Greer Tarot, and the reason I'm so thrilled is that it's my first ever vintage deck. I found it on eBay, and so it's the original 1979 printing, and it's a well-handled, well-loved deck. I think it must have belonged to maybe an old lady or something. It smells very strongly of, I think, talcum powder. And it has a really good vibe. I can tell that it came from good hands. So I've done a proper shuffle where I smoosh all the cards around on the floor and then gather them back together. So there may be reversals. And then I've shuffled, and then I've drawn 3 cards. The first is going to represent Monday and Tuesday, the second Wednesday and Thursday, and the third Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But these may be energies that come and go throughout the week and aren't restricted to those specific days. So before we get started with the reading, I'm going to read a poem, and I'm doing another Mary Oliver poem from a collection I have by Roger Housden called 10 Poems to Change Your Life. And this is called The Journey. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles. Mend my life, each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough, and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. So I just recently rediscovered this beautiful poem, and I think it's quite powerful. So maybe there's something about this week. I felt so drawn to read it. There may be something about this week that has to do with kind of returning to yourself or to your own authenticity, to something that's calling to you. So, but let's get on to the reading. So Monday and Tuesday, we have the moon. Look how exquisite this is. I find this deck totally mesmerizing. All right. Wednesday and Thursday, the 5 of Swords. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Wheel of Fortune. And on the bottom of the deck, the Fool. Beautiful. All right, so Monday and Tuesday, the moon. I'm noticing in this card how it really seems like the dogs are howling at the moon, and this crayfish, it's 3/4 out of the water, as though it's just being levitated or something, like it's drawn towards this huge orb. Water has to do with emotions, and the moon has to do with emotions and longings and fears and things that haven't been revealed, things that are obscured, all this stuff from the unconscious and the shadows. So we're coming up to a full moon. I believe it's on Thursday in the sign of Scorpio. And it could be that you're really feeling that at the beginning of the week. That's kind of pressure building, something that's calling and pulling you. And like there's this path that's going into the distance. Perhaps you're being drawn down another path than the one that you've walked previous to now. You may have been, doing the things that you're supposed to, helping other people or doing what they expect of you. But there's something that's stirring inside you. You may be feeling quite dissatisfied, or just like you have an intense feeling of being drawn towards something else. And yeah, you may be having dreams that make a big impression. You could wake up feeling very troubled or disturbed, or you could be feeling very creative. But it's like there's things that are inside you that are stirring really deeply. And a kind of feeling of something burgeoning up, and like a bubble that's going to burst. And at the middle of the week, we have the 5 of Swords. So this is a card that talks about power struggles, trying to win. Swords represent communication, so it can be like trying to win at arguments. It can be silent treatment, where other people are kind of jockeying for control in your life, or you yourself feel the need to kind of come out on top. This usually talks about some sort of empty victory. So it's like the battle has already been fought, and this cloaked figure is going around gathering up all the swords that have been dropped. So it's like when you, maybe for example, you shut somebody out of your life and have a sense of self-righteousness or something, but and feel very justified in it, but then they're not there anymore, so that's also a bit sad, or something like that. Somebody could be doing that, have been doing that to you. Maybe you have a pattern where this occurs a lot in your life. Or maybe you know a lot about how you appear to other people, or you encounter other people who also are trying to appear a certain way, and at the cost of what their heart really longs for. In this form of the moon, that can refer to stuff like creativity too. Maybe you want to seem kind of cool or clever, or you don't want to embarrass yourself, but you have things inside you that could potentially be disapproved of or disliked by other people, or be embarrassing or not cool, and they really want to be revealed. There's something that you're being called to that could be really important, like your destiny, but it could also inspire dislike or ridicule or something like that. So I think that these two kind of go together. We've got the sun and the moon, and I think that this could represent the end of this kind of 5 of Swords mode of being or experiencing the world and other people. That it's like going to burst, come to a head. Maybe it's going to be revealed that somebody has been trying to win or act in a certain way that's not in your interests. Or you could realize that you yourself have been caring more about winning than about authenticity or tending to your own calling or something like that. And then for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a positive shift. The hand of destiny turns the wheel. With the Wheel of Fortune, I always think of when I was a child going to the Met in New York for the opera. They have this amazing stage set where in between acts, the whole stage will turn and it's like a new scene is revealed. And all the props are different, it's like a whole new aspect. So this can be like when you know, something happens, you get a new job, somebody enters your life, somebody leaves your life, and your world suddenly has a whole new aspect. It's a completely different scene that's revealed. And it's usually something you don't have control over. Because the Wheel of Fortune is in the upright, I would say this is a positive change. You know, you could be coming into money, getting a brilliant new idea, meeting a really important friend or the love of your life, or, you know, whatever, like something that's really life-changing. Moving to a new country and it becomes your adopted home. You know, it's big changes. And I'm thinking that it's been facilitated in some way by the realizations you have over the full moon and that, you know, in the way that sometimes when you have some sort of realization or action, you know, like you clean out your closet and then suddenly you meet a wonderful friend. It's not like that action directly affected the event in a way that you can understand, but you can feel that it did on a like emotional, non-material level. So I'm thinking that it's kind of like something is purged this week and a major change is facilitated. And then with the Fool on the bottom of the deck, I mean, this is bright new beginnings. The Fool's carrying this white rose of purity, and the Fool's all about loving like you haven't been hurt, new beginnings, fresh new starts, and purity, optimism, childlike innocence. He's setting off into the world with just a few possessions tied up in a handkerchief, and he's got his dog and a red feather in his garland. You know, it's kind of jaunty and excited and optimistic. So I'm thinking that this is a powerful and important week for you, and that you're going to be able to shed a lot of negativity and fear and mistrust, and that you're going to be embarking on some kind of new journey, you know, emotional, physical, life path, whatever it is, that's very important to you and dear to your heart. So it seems powerful. It's very interesting. Let me know if anything happens, you know, or if this makes sense to you, even just on a feeling level. I'm so interested. It seems really positive and, yeah, like I said, important. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you feel called to, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back next Sunday with another video just like this. I apologize if there was any background noise. There's always other people moving around and slamming doors and such just when I try to do a video. So yeah, I do apologize for that. But take very good care, and yes, be well. Bye-bye.